All right, so next up this week is motorcycles. There's a division of Harley-Davidson called Livewire. They started with the Livewire 1, which was their first electric, or the Lightning is what they called it originally, electric motorcycle, and it was a Harley-Davidson. It was called the Livewire Lightning, I believe. Over the last few years, they've taken that Livewire model and actually turned it into a brand, a sub-brand of Harley-Davidson that's focused on electric motorcycles, and it's the name brand is Livewire. Last week, they successfully spun off Livewire and had an initial public offering to break off Livewire into its own separate company. And one of the reasons that they did this is to raise money so that they could, invest that money back into Livewire and future product development. So successfully did that this week. They raised right over $330 million as part of this IPO. Valued the company Livewire as an independent company at over $2 billion, which it's pretty impressive for a motorcycle company. One of the more interesting things is that Harley-Davidson still maintains majority ownership, so which means they still control the company. They have 74% of the ownership still, which is big, because that just goes to show you that Harley still really would like to control the future of Livewire's development and where they go, and have a lot of skin in the game. They weren't just throwing Livewire away. They see real value in this, and Harley obviously is leveraging some of the, let's say, the market sentiment with electric vehicles and spinning them off to raise money, which I can appreciate and respect them doing. So yeah, Harley still maintains 74% majority ownership. Some of the more interesting things, right, that I found in this the investor deck that they put together for the IPO process is some of their thinking, right, and like this chart right here. It just kind of shows the more traditional motorcycle companies compared to the startup motorcycle companies, and how Livewire is unique in that it's kind of the best of both worlds, in that it has this heritage and legacy and the infrastructure of Harley-Davidson, but it also, spinning it off and how it's been operated up to date, it also has the benefits of the nimbleness of a startup. And what this allows them to do is have a very unique market position, that they're coming from a trusted brand. They have an infrastructure to support these motorcycles when they're out in the world, as well as the manufacturing infrastructure to build them. But then at the same time, they're able to be nimble and move quickly from an engineering and a development standpoint, in adoption of innovative and unique technology to really have world-class motorcycles. So that's the value, right, that they were pitching, and they successfully did. They raised $330 million, the $2 billion valuation of the company now. So if you're interested in owning some of Livewire, they're traded on the stock exchange. I don't know the ticker. I'll put it up here though, so that if you want to put some skin of your own in the game, have at it. Because again, from their investor deck, this isn't mine. They're showing how the electric motorcycle, the total addressable market is just going to skyrocket over the next few years and over the next decade. And they're trying to capitalize on that, and they see that as the future, again, of motorcycles, right? The gasoline combustion engine motorcycles will live a slow death, and they will be replaced with electric propulsion and electric motorcycles, because it's superior in almost every way. One of the things that they touch on as well in these presentations is their new vehicle architecture, which they're calling Aero, the Aero architecture, which is based on this core structural battery pack, and they have modularity with motors and the fork and all these other things, but it's basically got a spine that's the structural battery pack that will allow them to rapidly deploy new models to market, which is is very standard practice in the automotive industry, with having shared platforms, and they're leveraging some of that thinking with this motorcycle. The Del Mar 2, that they revealed recently, and it sold out almost immediately, and they just reopened reservations. This is the first vehicle, the first motorcycle from Livewire that's based on this new this new aero architecture. And the bike is incredibly cool. If you're into bikes, it's very good looking. The performance that they're saying it has, again, mind blowing. All for a reasonable price. One of the big problems or detractions with the initial Livewire 1, their first motorcycle, it's just crazy. It's just extremely expensive. And they're hoping with this new aero architecture to help drive down the price of the bikes to make them more attainable to more people. Because again, when you do that, you get mass adoption, and that's what really has the ability to to change the world with reducing emissions and getting these bikes into more people's hands. So that's what this IPO is all about, was raising money to help accelerate those product development plans and get these bikes out there and to lower the cost of them. And it's all to do with this new aero architecture that they're working through and developing. That's going to be out on this Del Mar 2, which is supposed to be in production next year. So good stuff. Let me know what you think and whether you'd be into driving an electric motorcycle. I know that there are some drawbacks to electric bikes, and that one of the things with bikes that is kind of a built-in safety device, if you will, is the noise that they make. It lets other drivers on the road know that you're coming, which you kind of lose with electric motorcycles. So I do understand that that's just one of a few drawbacks to electric bikes. But again, these big established motorcycle companies like Harley Davidson and Honda, which we talked about 2 weeks ago, which I'll put a link to in the description below in case you missed that. They realize the electricity is the electric propulsion is the future of motorcycles, and these are things that they will have to work through, But I have confidence that they will, particularly these big established guys who have a lot on the line when it comes to this. Without this, their legacy business of decades, and Harley's been around almost 100 years. They know how to build bikes. They know their customers, but they're also going after new customers. Someone like me, who might not be interested in a traditional Harley Davidson or a traditional motorcycle, but with that Del Mar 2, I want one. I won't get a motorcycle for safety reasons, at least not right now in my life. But yeah, it's exciting to see that Harley spun off Livewire successfully, raised a lot of money, and that they're going to be pumping that money back into the development of this next generation of electric motorcycles. Good stuff.